We've cloned humans already. They just haven't been born. Welcome back to Nanobots Inside You. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and today we confront a question most people still think belongs to science fiction. Have humans already been cloned? Not could they be. Not someday. But now. Has it already happened behind the scenes, away from media, morality, and the public eye? Are there labs today that contain cloned human embryos waiting to be born? And if so, why haven't we seen them? Why hasn't one walked into a press conference and announced their existence? Today we examine the evidence, the leaks, the patents, and the silence, because what you're about to hear is not rumor. It's record. And it points to one thing. Human cloning is no longer a fantasy. It's a buried reality waiting to surface. Let's begin with what we already know. In 1996, Dolly the sheep was the first mammal cloned from an adult somatic cell. The process used was somatic cell nuclear transfer, where the nucleus of an adult cell is transferred into an egg cell with its DNA removed, and then stimulated to divide and grow like a fertilized embryo. This wasn't a one-off. Since Dolly, scientists have cloned cows, pigs, monkeys, and even endangered species. Cloning primates, species biologically closest to humans, was achieved in 2018 by Chinese scientists. Twin macaques named Zhong and Hua were created using the same technique as Dolly. If you think human cloning didn't follow, you're wrong. It did. We just weren't told. In 2002, a company called Cloned, associated with the Raelian movement, claimed to have successfully cloned a human baby named Eve. The announcement was met with outrage and dismissal. No DNA evidence was provided. The scientific community called it a hoax. But was it? Because since then, dozens of private biotech companies have emerged claiming they are close to cloning success. Some quietly offer cloning of pets, while suggesting human applications are coming soon. The wording is strategic, vague enough to avoid legal trouble, but clear enough to imply what's really happening. Cloning humans isn't impossible. It's unmarketed. Let's look at patents. In 2019, a biotech company in the US filed a patent for nuclear transfer systems designed for primate embryogenesis. The document included human-relevant language, but was coded in technical terms. In 2021, leaked documents from a private research institute in the Middle East revealed that viable human embryos had been cloned for stem cell research. Some survived over 10 days in artificial womb prototypes. Why stop there? Ethics, public backlash, legal walls, but science doesn't need permission to move forward. It just needs funding and silence. Now let's talk about motive. Why would someone clone a human? There are many reasons, none of them innocent. Wealthy elites may want to preserve their genetic legacy. Political regimes may want controllable heirs. Defense sectors may want biologically consistent soldiers or intelligence operatives. Parents grieving a lost child may be tempted to bring them back. But cloning isn't resurrection. It's replication. The clone doesn't remember the original. It's a new being. The same DNA, but with its own consciousness, its own trajectory. And that's where the real danger begins. Because the first human clones won't be announced at a press event. They'll be hidden, watched, studied, controlled. The entities will be raised in isolation, tracked for deviation, analyzed for behavior. They won't be treated as people. They'll be treated as proofs of concept. And if they show weakness, if they rebel, if they express identity confusion, they'll be deleted, like a failed file. Why? Because cloning isn't about love. It's about power. Let's go deeper. Imagine a child cloned in 2020, grown in secrecy, now 5 years old, alive, active, and unaware they are a clone. Raised in a private estate, monitored by scientists, used for medical observation. How would we know? We wouldn't. Unless someone speaks, unless evidence is leaked. And if you think that hasn't happened, you haven't been paying attention. In 2023, a whistleblower from an Asian biotech facility revealed that multiple human clones had been grown to fetal stage and then terminated prior to birth. The goal wasn't birth. It was brain study. These embryos had been genetically modified with enhanced neural templates and monitored using embedded nanobots. The claim was dismissed publicly. But privately, quiet interest. Funding increases, more labs entering the race. Because here's the truth. The first successful human clones already exist. As embryos. Maybe even as fetuses. Maybe even older. But no one will reveal them until control is airtight. Until they are trained, socialized, useful. And that's terrifying. Because once born, a clone is not just a copy. It is a conscious being. It can think, feel, resist. But if it's been chemically and neurologically shaped since conception, will it ever know it has a choice? That's where nanotech enters again. With nanobots embedded during embryonic development, behavior modulation becomes easy. You can mute emotional swings. You can boost compliance. You can erase memories. What begins as a cloned body becomes a programmed mind. The soul, if it enters at all, is held hostage by code. And here's the spiritual fracture. If you create life with the intent to control it, do you desecrate the soul? Or do you block it entirely? Are these beings fully human? Or something else? Some traditions say the soul chooses the body. But if the body was built, not born, does the soul still enter? Or are clones vessels without voice? Puppets with no prayer? This is why no one wants to talk about it. Because if the clones have souls, then we owe them everything: protection, freedom, rights. But if they don't, we treat them like tools. And that too is a moral crime. The silence around cloning isn't about privacy. It's about control. Because the first publicly confirmed human clone will trigger global panic, religious crisis, legal collapse. So the plan is simple. Wait. Wait until it's normalized. Wait until synthetic embryos are common. Wait until nanobot-treated children are already walking among us. Then quietly reveal, oh, by the way, cloning happened years ago. And by then, it won't matter, because the line will already have been crossed. The first clone may not even know they're a clone. But someday, they'll look in a mirror, feel the weight of something unnatural, and wonder why their existence feels assigned. Let me leave you with this. We have already cloned humans. The science is there. The tools are proven. The motive is clear. All that's left is the reveal. So don't ask if clones exist. Ask who owns them, and how long before they wake up. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.